Today I'm going to share with you the top 5 benefits that you'll get to enjoy immediately as a Californian arriving here to Greater Nashville. Stay tuned. Number 1, way lower income tax. In fact, by way lower, I mean no income tax. Here in Tennessee, there's absolutely no personal income tax. And in fact, this year, on the 1st of January 2021, investment income tax was also repealed. So anyone earning interest or dividend income here in Tennessee is no longer getting taxed on that income as well. And in the area of business, you get to enjoy a lower corporate tax here in Tennessee as compared to California. 26% less, in fact, than California corporate taxes. Over here, you pay a 6.5% flat corporate tax. Out in California, you pay 8.84%, almost 9%, which means that out here, you pay 1/4 less in corporate taxes than you do in California, which means you get to keep and enjoy more of your income to be able to put it back into your business and reinvest it for growth, or just simply to be able to enjoy the fruit of your labor. And in the area of property taxes, you get to enjoy 12% less in general property tax out here in Tennessee than in California. Out here, we pay a 0.63% effective property tax rate in general. Out in California, that same rate is 0.73%. So you actually get to pay less out here, substantially less out here, not only because the rate is 12% less in general, but also because the houses out here for the same comparable house out in California are substantially less costly. So your taxes on property will drop significantly out here in Greater Nashville. And that's why Wallet Hub ranks Tennessee as the 3rd best state in the entire country with the lowest tax burden on its residents, and ranks California as the 37th. Youch. The second benefit you get to enjoy as a Californian immediately upon arriving here to Greater Nashville is a lower cost of living. Out here in Greater Nashville, as compared to certain and most major parts of California, you may see anywhere from a 20% to even 50% drop in your regular, say, utilities and expenses that you would need just to have a functioning home. For example, our power and electricity costs out in California, roughly we were paying about 17 cents per kilowatt hour. Out here, we are paying 9 cents per kilowatt hour. So that's almost a 50% drop in our energy bill just by moving out here to the Greater Nashville area. Our car insurance dropped from $120 a month for 2 vehicles to $50 a month for the same coverage on those 2 vehicles out here. Car registration as well, we were paying $500 a year for our 2 vehicles. Out here, we ended up paying a little less than $150. And that's actually kind of on the expensive side here because we live in Hendersonville, which has a little bit higher tax rate on vehicles. So that's just a couple examples, but altogether, cost of living, you're going to see a significant change here in Greater Nashville and Tennessee in general. By the way, I will be delving deeper into cost of living and specific utilities and services, what the costs look like out here, so you can see them in more depth and detail in future videos. So with a lower cost of living out here in Tennessee, you get to enjoy the same infrastructure and lifestyle as you had out in California, but at a significantly less cost for you and your family. And the third benefit that you get to enjoy as a Californian immediately upon moving out here to Greater Nashville is more liberty. And by liberty, I mean you actually get to have more freedom. The state legislature, in fact, out here in Tennessee is very different in its performance than out in California. Here in Tennessee, the state legislature meets 90 days over a span of 2 years, which means on average they're only meeting 45 days out of the year to consider new bills and pass legislation. Out in California, the state legislature is in assembly all year long, which means that they're constantly legislating and looking for new ways to put the chains of freedom on its citizens out there in California. The fourth benefit that you'll get to enjoy as a Californian immediately moving out here to Greater Nashville is the lack of traffic, the ability to move quickly, and with a growing international airport and ease of access to 3 interstates converging in Nashville, you have easy access and fast travel throughout the country. And the fifth and final benefit that you enjoy immediately as a Californian coming out to Greater Nashville is that you're not alone. Not only do you have other Californians like myself who have already moved themselves and their families out here, but you also have a community of people that have a heart for hospitality. Southern hospitality is a real thing out here, and my family in particular has been able to experience that as we transitioned ourselves over here and enjoyed having neighbors who would literally just walk on over and help us with our furniture, actually sit down and talk with us and just get to know us better. These were things that really did help us to be able to get more used to the community and just enjoy the transition altogether. And speaking of other Californians who've already moved out here, I will be meeting up with these Californians and providing you with interviews that allow for you to see what kind of life they're now currently living and how they have been able to transition from California to the Greater Nashville area. Thanks for sticking around to watch this video, and until next time, take care.